Hello, this is my track breakdown of KILLA777. It was suggested by a guy on Newgrounds if I could do a breakdown of how I made this track. So I've never done that before, so if this seems like, oh shit, he doesn't know what he's doing, that's probably why. So I'll start by just playing the whole thing from start to finish.
Gelatin, but also jelly.
Can I bring a millipede?
Yo, please!
Very sick. Okay. So let's just break this down bit by bit. The intro is actually something I'm low-key ashamed of. Not because I think it sucks, I think it's sick. The issue is that the whole thing is actually based around this sample, which is doing most of the heavy lifting, and I was considering actually not using it because I thought it was a little bit cheap. But this is what that sample sounds like. And I've really not done anything to it other than changing it into the key of E minor instead of G minor. And I just really loved how that sounded, and I wanted to do something with it. So that's kind of carrying the vibe of the track. I'm kind of using that atmosphere bit as a baseline. For what the whole song's kind of like space to live in is. I love to think of like making songs of like you're painting a picture and you have to have a background before you start working on the foreground. So here we have all my mids. That's where all the chords are going on. I have these huge chords that are playing this kind of synth wavy thing. I'm layering it with a bunch of different stuff. Like we have these super saws that I think are literally from it's from an AU5 tutorial where we're kind of this is funny. This is from an old version of Serum 1. It's not that old. Okay, it is, but you know. And back then we didn't have 3 oscillators, so it's actually a trick on how to kind of get a fuller sound out, like kind of tricking Serum into. It's a hack of getting more oscillators than 2, so we can make this huge super saw instead of just having the two wavetables, which is sick. Other than that, I'm not using this. This is like just an octave higher, pretty much. And we have a pad, which is probably not Serum. It's just some granular stuff, a preset even, not that creative. Usually I use Absinthe for pads because I think it sounds really ethereal. I love Absinthe. I think they just released a new version. I should get on that. We have some guitar vocals I never used. All the vocals for the breakdown are made by 2 of my good friends. I'll link their stuff in the description. One of my good friends, Felipe, made these backing vocals. And actually also another vocal part, which I sadly did not end up using because I just thought it sounded a little too hype for the vibe of the song. So I ended up using these instead, which are not in the newgrounds version, because I just wanted it out the door in some way so people could listen to it. And then I was like, okay, for the Spotify version, I'm gonna add some more stuff and give it some more love. So this is some the dude who sent me these vocals didn't record to a metronome, so it was a nightmare to actually make this sound right. But actually not a lot is going on. Okay, there's actually a little bit more than I thought. But it's basically just the classic high cut to get rid of the low frequencies. I'm using Soothe too, to just get rid of doing some de-essing, getting rid of all the harsh S sounds. I'm using Trash to distort the shit out of the vocal, and I wanted there to be like another layer of harmonics, so I did this 50-50 mixing of an octave higher pitch with a bit higher formant than Shivaro, which gives it this nice bright sound instead of and then I'm adding a little bit of chorus, and of course we're also, Flux is doing, it's basically free LFO tool. If you don't know about this plugin, it's if you don't want to pay for LFO tool, you get that one. It's good. And then we just have some delay. Is there no OTT on here actually? No, I'm just using Camel Crusher and Trash to fuck the sound, I guess. And then this is probably just a bounced clip. No, that's just a clean version. And I'm just layering the two. Very sick. Then we have these that I did not use. That's not the one. That's also not the one. I don't know what that was. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the vocals, other than these that we already talked about. On that we got some melodic parts in the breakdown. We got, well, for the build up first and foremost, actually I should talk about that. We have this bell, which is like the theme of the whole song that is playing, I guess. That's a classic sound. I think I've used that one so many times. I don't know what this is. This is probably also a preset, and I just put OTT on it to make it sound brighter. Play in water. Go look that up. Then we have this melody, which is just kind of filling up the background. I have a tendency to overuse ping pong delay and wash out my mixes. It's a bad habit, but I really love how ping pong delay sounds. So that's just supporting the build-up, pretty much. And then right before the drop, I put an octave higher, just so you notice it. And then it feels like something's about to happen. Then we have some effects, which is just impacts and an uplifter, which is the same as the impact actually. And then a reversed siren at the very end for hype. And then we have some build-up stuff, which is probably like snare rolls and risers. And I probably didn't make any of these. This is probably just stuff I found on Splice, I can imagine. And then maybe I added some filtering or some pitch shifting manually to just the warp mode or something like that, just to spice it up a little bit. But actually, maybe not. I don't think it was required here. They all sounded great already. Then, before the drop, we have this vocal I found, which a friend of mine who does not make music alerted me to having heard a billion times in other songs. So, rip, but I think it sounds great, so I'm gonna keep it. And we have a drum fill. That all together sounds like this. And then we get to the fun part, the drop. So in the drop we have this kind of... That's not on the box, it's in the drums. It's not on the drums. Where is it? We have like this offbeat kind of reggae sounding thing. It might be actually... Yeah, it's probably in the atmosphere. Yeah, it's these ones. So I really like when making drops, kind of thinking, okay, if we take everything away and there was just this, again, the space it lives in, what would the drop sound like? So we can actually remove the basses, if I can find them. Yeah, here they are. And just play it without the basses, and we still have this atmosphere part right here. Which like retains the vibe of the drop, but like without the all the heavy basses and stuff. So this is kind of, yeah, this is what it sounds like if we remove all the actual basses that you are noticing in the song. So you still, there's still something there, you know. And then when you add the basses, sounds sick. And if I remove this atmosphere, all of a sudden, in my opinion, we lose so much of the magic. Then up here, I don't know if I actually used these offbeats. No, that probably had some hey or something on the offbeat at some point, but it's gone now. Let's talk about the basses. The basses are really fun. It was something I learned from an AU5 video, which was, I think he called it the monolith method, which is really, really cool. Basically, the main idea is taking a bunch of sounds that you have made over the course of like whatever, a long time, and tuning them to the same thing, and then the same key, and then just putting them all together in a big frozen clip that you can fuck around with simpler. So basically all I'm doing here is this is a compilation of both sounds that I've found and sounds that I've made over years of producing. And I'm basically just changing the start position and how quickly we are playing through, and then also in what direction, so we can get some reverses and of the sounds and stuff like that. So this is just a huge, like I could probably like play it. Like there's just so many things that I just put into one big, huge file. And then I'm just changing the start position and the how quickly we are playing through it, and direction and the pitch and everything. And then a thing I've also done is that I have this pitch envelope that it goes from the absolute, I think this is 48 semitones is the maximum setting actually right here. And then I just have a quick bounce down so we get like an impact in the beginning. And then I like to put an envelope and automate the decay of this pitch envelope. So we get like this weird effect when... Where is the decay? There it is. Let's just do this. Make it really long. And there's this weird cyber scrolling thing starts happening. We get some really cool sounds. So actually this noise right here, which is like, I would say the main bass, was a complete accident. Like I don't actually completely know. I was just fucking around with all the parameters and all of a sudden I found that. I thought it sounded great. So I was like, I gotta make a drop with it. And I did. What else? I think we just have some shots of, oh, this is like a pitched version. Make it a little bit more colorful. Does it have? No, it doesn't have chroma on it. It just sounds like it does. Actually, does this have chroma on it? It might have. Yeah, I do have chroma on it. So chroma is the poor man's version of I think the EVST is called Pitch Map, which is like really expensive, and it just basically brings out all the I don't want to check for updates. Go away. It's just literally like a color-based tool. It brings out the harmonics in a specific key that you choose. That makes it more colorful. Like if I turn off chroma, this becomes generic dubstep basses, where if we do this, it becomes generic color-based basses. Isn't that neat? And then Camel Crusher, I love Camel Crusher. It's probably set to... No, it's British clean. Normal. I loved using Annihilate. But for this one, I probably chose to chill a little bit and not go go completely ham on it. Actually, what am I doing for sidechaining here? Am I doing actual sidechaining or am I faking it? I'm doing actual sidechaining. Okay. So I'm just using a compressor as you would expect with a medium ratio, I would say, on it. And I haven't even dabbled in changing the attack or the release or anything. And then a pretty harsh threshold matched to the kick and the snare to make those really punch through. And that is pretty much it for the basses. I don't think there's anything else interesting going on. We have a Reese bass. Everyone knows how to make a Reese bass. It's a low-pass saw wave. Not that interesting. In this case, a super saw. And in the mids, we have some more melodic sections. We have the same arpeggio as before. And then we have introduce a new melody, which is this one. We have a pad. Again, it's Serum, and it's probably Flux Mini doing all the jitteriness. Yeah, it is. And then we have some horns, just for the build-up. And this is session horns, probably. Please? Oh, it's actually just, it's from Factory. It's the trumpets from Factory. I think I tried to use the large French horns from Metropolis Arc 1 by Orchestral Tools. Or I think it's by Orchestral Tools, I don't remember who made it. The dudes who made the sign player. Oh, Kilohertz. Or maybe then. No, I don't think Kilohertz is the one who made. They just made sign player. I don't think they actually made the Metropolis Arc 1 itself. But it sounded too large. It sounded a little bit too epic. So I actually really liked how these trumpets sounded more, even though they're just kind of like a factory preset. They sound nice. They're good. Don't sleep on factory stuff just because it's cheap. Then we have this. I'm not using this. This was another one of Philipp's vocals. He had this idea for like a guitar vocal, which is kind of cool. But I ended up not using it because I didn't think it fit the song. But it is cool, and I might use it at another point. We got some Jersey beat here. It's fun. What is that? That is like a kick and a shaker or something like that. So we got a kick with no processing on it, because who cares about processing? And then we got like a shaker clap type thing. And then this big Jack U-ish snare with a lot of reverb on it. A whole lot of perks here. This thing is kind of cool. This kind of sounds like look up Terror Bird by Author and Punisher. That's what this loop reminds me of. I think that's probably why I picked it, because I love that song. Other than that, I mean, I'm just using the same principle as before here. It's just the monolith, just like the last time. Doing all the heavy lifting. And here I'm using... Is this the monolith? It is, just on another track with some different processing, and then cool. And then we have some samples like this one. I love lasers. Gotta have a laser in here somewhere. I don't know how to describe what these are. They're probably like a really, really short gun bass, like these ones. That have been bounced. I think I made these with like a convolver in using what is it called? I used multipass. Yeah, multipass is really, really powerful for gun basses, I found out. I don't remember who made a video about it, but I remember watching one a long time ago about how you can use multipass for your gun basses with the kilohertz convolver, and then I think the actual sound itself is made in phase plant, if I remember correctly, and then I just bounced it. I have it in here somewhere in my user library. Outro, I have a piano. And that's probably felt piano, because I love how that sounds. Oh, no, it's not. Or is it? It is spindle felt piano. And that just has a velocity randomizer on here with the piano preset, just because I don't feel like tweaking it manually, because I'm lazy. And then I used to have this tape hiss effect on it that makes it sound a little bit more retro, but I decided to drop it. And other than that, same bells as before. Oh, this is the breakdown melody. and the bells. And for drums, we have pretty much the same beat, just different sounds. Some hat loop, and the trusty Jack U snare. Well, it's not a Jack U snare, but it kind of sounds like it. And then I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, we have the master chain. I have a bad habit of putting go-to-T on master, but I really like how it sounds, so like, sue me, I guess. Then we have tape stop. I really like using tape stop. I have a habit of overusing it actually. It's just doing this in the beginning. If we stop soloing everything, it's just the thing that makes it sound like a tape is starting up. I don't think I pay for it. I don't think I did. It's this one. Or I might have gotten it actually in a kilohertz package. I have a subscription on there. What else? That's just some streaming for Discord streaming, millimeters. And then this is turned off. I use this when mixing. I have a VSX Essentials headset, and I use this to just check if everything works out. Like, how does it sound in a car? How would it sound in a club and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really helpful. I really like it. Big recommendation. Not sponsored, by the way. And other than that, I think that's the track. I think that's pretty much it. Oh wait, no. I have one thing that I think is really cool. I have this glitch section over here, right before the breakdown. Which is the accumulation of so many sounds. With different effects on him. So I have a laser to start off the whole thing. Then we have a really glitchy riser. I don't know what this is. It just sounds really grungy. This is just a dial tone or just a sine wave, pretty much. A backspin. I use backspins a lot. Backspins feel like cheating. If you ever feel like, I don't know how to glue this drop to this breakdown or this to this or whatever, shove in a backspin. I swear to God, it works every time. You can literally put any transition and make that transition work if you just put in a backspin. I've done some crazy transitions that do not sound similar to like the songs. It doesn't even sound like the same song, but the backspin makes it work somehow. And then this thing here. And the coolest sound of them all is this one. Really crunchy. I think it sounds like this without anything. So I'm just putting reverb on it, and then I had a frequency shifter that I removed. And then this delay, I just automated the left time and turn it to time instead of sync. And I'm just slowly turning that down, which makes the left ear speed up, which makes this crazy, glitchy, weird effect. Can't really explain it. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. So hope that was insightful and cool and epic and fun. Have a good one.